everyone to discussion room
Yeah,
95. We're back.
We're back.
Yes, as you can see, we're in the comforts of our own home. So let me introduce my fellow hosts here.
Hey guys, I'm Holly
I'm
Pantaleon.
Sebi.
Cholo.
I'm Kyle Valencia, and this is Discussion Room 95. So to start this episode, premise lang on what we're trying to do here. We noticed that there are a lot of news, there are a lot of content out there talking about the different sectors that the
yeah.
NCOV has hit, so
Yeah.
like economics, politics, and all those stuff, right? But no one's really like talking about like how this affects students like in our
Yeah.
daily lives, yung like
Alright.
socially, even like dependent dun sa demographic
Yes.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
So, this discussion is for all the students, representing all the students and like the stuff that we're going through.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
not just for UANP, but like students in general that's going through this crisis
Yeah,
with
everyone.
us.
For sure. So, for people na are not, there are some viewers out there that are not in Metro Manila. We have some viewers in Visayas or Mindanao. We even have some viewers in other countries.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
If you guys aren't familiar, so yeah, madami nangyari sa Metro, like especially in the Metro Manila area and its surrounding part. So Holly, give us a
A quick update.
background.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so we all know that the COVID, what do you call this? The coronavirus has been spreading rapidly in the Philippines, but mostly in the Metro Manila area. So this is according to DOH. So if you guys want to check it out, their website is doh.gov.ph/2019-ncov. And you can see here that the latest update was a while ago, March 2012 noon, that there are already 230 confirmed cases in the Philippines.
230?
There
Damn. son.
God.
yeah, that's imagine from
Save
one
us all.
person
Yeah.
to
God save
15.
us.
It's like it's very exponential.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
definitely.
Lord.
But there's also some positive news that there are 656 people or cases that tested negative, so that's good. And there are
Okay,
381
thank God,
cases
thank God.
pending test results. Yeah. So
And it's so wild no? Kasi like, meron din tayong news like as per Monday this week, right? Yung recorded lang was 12 fatalities,
Exactly,
142
exactly.
cases, and 3 recoveries. So ngayon parang sobrang...
kasi itong NCOV parang they the way it spreads, it's exponential. So
Yeah.
for example, 'di ba, from 1 to 2, 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Grabe,
And it's so
it's
easy to
intense. It's
spread.
just
Like, I mean, it's
It
just like
is, it
it's
is.
droplets that come out of a mouth of a person.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
then,
according
like,
according
I
to
read
World,
somewhere.
World Health Organization. So
I read
yeah, I mean,
somewhere
like,
that like if it
I mean,
gets on
it
like
can spread
cardboard,
from
it's
person
there
to
for
person
24 hours, bro.
through small droplets from the nose or
Okay,
mouth.
so may nagsasalita. Wait lang. Wait. Order. Okay, wait lang. So for everyone watching, like, please bear with us. This is the first time we're doing this. Like, so if there's anything like, okay, this is kind of hard. This is hard as it is. Okay, so I hope you guys watching at home, please bear with us.
Ayaw
We'll try our best.
magbigayan.
We'll try our best.
Ayaw magbigay.
Oh, sige, so si
No,
Sebi
I just
muna.
thought he was done,
Like,
bro. I just
what is
thought he
up
was
with you
done.
guys? Yeah, why are you laughing? It's great that there's still optimism.
What?
Okay, I mean, what happened kanina? is still
Oh,
in my
until
mind, so
now.
I
Oh
couldn't
my
stop
God.
laughing. Okay, anyway.
Okay, pero yun nga, so another question is like, okay, so it spreads really really fast, and like medyo hindi mo papansin when it's spreading, but it's spreading, as you can see with the numbers also that Holly gave kanina, right?
Yes.
So the real question now is like, are we prepared for this, or like naging ready ba tayo for something like this, or do we have even like basis to compare this to? Cholo, you can speak now. Go,
No,
Cholo. Go.
Your turn.
Like personally, if I was prepared, really I wasn't. Like, even when we knew that the coronavirus has gone to the Philippines, like me and my parents, we still haven't gone to like the grocery to stock up on goods. And then
You haven't?
after the lockdown, or like the suspension of classes, that's when we chose to buy our stuff. Like
Okay,
we were
yeah.
given like the wake up call, like, yo, this is
Mhm.
like legit, it's for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my take.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, anyone else?
Well, for me, I was definitely not prepared, but I don't think it's just me. Parang I can see it within the communities, within schools, actually within the entire national government. Parang, they weren't expecting this kind of blowout from the NCOV ganyan. So you could see how like government officials are responding to these cases, and then there you can really see that the some mayors or even the national government are lacking in being responsive to this situation, which is a result of parang lack of preparation for the NCOV.
Oh, anyway, sige, Holly. It's scary also kasi nga you talk about being prepared, right? Like I think the entire world is kind of
Yeah.
like shaken up about this. Vaccines there. Oh, and also I just want to shove in a fact there. May nagsasabi online na meron na daw cure. Wala pang cure, okay? Legit, wala pang cure. In terms of vaccine, reported by Rappler na most likely mga 2021 pa bago lumabas ang cure ng
Damn.
this coronavirus and COVID.
2021.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna be stuck in
Yeah.
the house till next year.
Feel ko nga buong
Bro,
population
2020
ng
is
world meron ng
cancelled.
NCOV eh.
2020 is cancelled, bro, for real.
Yeah. So kung sinasabi here dun sa report ng Rappler na scientists are racing to develop the vaccine, but the earliest that a vaccine might be released in the market is late 2021. This is because there has no, and again going back, wala pa kasing strand of this coronavirus. Gets?
I just wanna
Scary
add na
stuff.
parang like who would have thought a pandemic would happen in our generation, like in a generation full of technology and science
Yeah.
and medicines. Like what are the odds, diba? So parang grabe, anything can really happen.
Yeah,
And
man.
This is so
Crazy.
intense. Like honestly, like this escalated so quickly na parang I don't think any of
Yeah,
us.
like
it's
I was
just
reading
one day
Yeah.
I was
How-
reading
having a normal day and the next day bang.
I was reading something like
yeah.
yesterday. It's not meant to be a joke, but someone just decided to eat a bat, and all of a sudden I can't go to school.
Isn't that
Oy,
the
grabe
basketball?
naman.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone,
okay.
I
someone
can't
decided
get the
to eat a bat
basketball,
and
bro.
I can't watch basketball anymore.
Yeah, that's another thing, diba? All the things
Yeah,
we
bro.
love the most, and NBA and sports are
Yeah.
shut down. Anyway, wrapping that up, this whole fact check part of our discussion, we really didn't want to focus on that, the health and like the science behind it, because you can get that anywhere. We really want to talk about like how this affects us, and maybe we can like consolidate like yung experiences natin. So for the first question, for the next question to all of the hosts, like how has this pandemic and this lockdown like affected you as a non-working person, because we're all students here.
Cholo. Oh, sabi
Oh,
Okay, I'll
ko.
go after Sabi.
Well, how has this
Game me after
affected me?
Cholo.
Well, obviously I can't go to school. I mean, like I'm just at home, like I'm not doing anything. And actually, like when they announced the suspension, like I didn't have a basketball at home, but then like I wanted to play basketball, so I ordered the basketball online. And then suddenly, like, I just get this message that their operations are closed. So, like, I can't get the basketball. And they even closed down the basketball court in my village. So, I'm stuck here at home. I'm just playing video games, just stay in my bed. That's basically it. Doing schoolwork if I have any. You know what I mean? Wink, wink.
Wink.
Wink, wink. Okay, sige. Cholo,
Yeah,
my
For
man.
me, it's kind of been the same situation. Like, I'm kind of just tied down to the house. But at the same time, it's given me time to realize how much we really need face-to-face interactions with our peers and everything.
Wow, may revelation ka pala,
Yeah,
Cholo.
'cause-
May revelation ka.
Because boring talaga, bro. I mean, you can't really just be left alone with your phone the whole day. It's kind of boring.
I agree.
Mhm.
Well, in my case, so there are actually some positive. Well, yeah, there are some positive things about what's happening right now. The suspension, the 1 month suspension, is that I get to spend time with my family. You really get to
Yeah,
bond
you're stuck with
because
them.
our family. Yeah, I mean, well, like for us, we don't really see each other very often. I think we're only complete like once a year or something like that. So it actually gave us time to really treasure each other and stuff like that. But when it comes to academics or I feel like it hasn't been too good. The experience hasn't been good so far. It was very stressful. It gives me anxiety, and I think we're gonna touch up on that later. Like we're gonna expound
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For me, since I'm also like working part time, right? Like it's like living in two separate worlds, right? Like in terms of school, yung pinaka hard part talaga is like student life like really like the world of student life stops revolving
Yeah.
in a sense, right? Like imagine mo everyone in school na I know this is like some would say like a privileged angal, pero alam mo yun, even like yung mga people who are in orgs that are like really into what they're doing, really passionate, even the people na varsities, like student life
Yeah.
really just stopped
No more
existing
training, no more
for a
events,
while.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So in terms of work naman, we'll probably touch on that later because we have guests over that are working na. For me, it's been hell. Like it's been hell in terms of like work kasi it's really hard to work online, let alone studying. The main topic of this discussion is really like online education as a whole.
Yes.
And I think Holly said it best kanina na parang nahirapan siya with school right now. So can I have your initial thoughts on online classes? Right? So who wants to go
Chola, Chola.
first?
Okay. So my initial thoughts were that okay, I was fine with it because at the same time, for my situation, I couldn't really think of anything else that I could do with my time at the house. But then I remembered like not everyone really has the same situation. Like some people don't really have internet or anything. So it was okay, but at the same time, sometimes it could be hassle because sometimes my profs don't really know how to operate having an online class, and even my classmates didn't know how to react to it. Like not everyone was present when they needed to be. So
Yeah.
mga ganon.
Yeah,
It's really just a big adjustment in general.
yeah, it is. In my opinion, like my initial thought was okay. Like since we're not gonna have school for a month and then they're not moving the calendar, I thought it'd be like I was actually okay with online classes, but then when it actually came up and then all these things happening with the difficulties of China, of our sometimes my internet connection wasn't working, or sometimes it was lagging, and then even the interaction with the prof is, it's really hard if it's not face to face. I mean, you could really tell the difference of asking a question through email, asking a question through Canvas, and asking a question in person. So that was also that's also really hard in my point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with both of you. I think my initial initial feelings towards online classes.
Initial. Okay, so you're initial.
Yeah, so my initial feelings
Okay,
towards
okay.
online classes was that na parang I was thinking na it's a good alternative. Like
Yeah.
initially that's what we feel kasi
Yeah,
parang
yeah.
in school naman we complain like why can't they just do it online and everything.
Yeah.
But then now experiencing it firsthand, it's like a whole different, parang ibang usapan siya. Like it's so different. I think the feelings of like it's a good alternative can only be justified when it's systemized and when it was prepared for.
For me, it's this whole online classes thing. Like I don't know if you guys are like aware of like how social media moves now. Pero sobrang it's a giant debate to have online classes or not to have online
Yeah.
classes. What should be our priority? Like should we prioritize the calendar or should we prioritize this and that? And don't worry, our entire show from here on out is going to be talking about that. So I hope
Yes.
I hope everyone like is chill and everything. These are just opinions from here on out. Baka ma-trigger kayo or
I
something.
mean, if we do state
Um,
facts, we're gonna we're gonna cite it, of course.
Yes. So everyone relax. Like we all have our opinions, and I think like in true DR95 fashion, the only way that we can resolve to an answer is to have the discussion.
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
For
I agree.
And because of that, let's start with the very first question for this one. Are online classes a conducive way of learning? Go lang, just jump in. Like, kayo na bahala.
Online classes.
No, it's not.
This is who wants to start though?
No, it's not. uh, okay. So
Wait,
I'm not speaking for myself only, but I'm speaking for all those who voiced out their opinions on our post in discussion room 95. It's definitely it's an ineffective way of learning. So I have several points for that. So the first, there's no parang it's very cold, and actually there's a study about this. I researched about it. This is by McDougall, and it was made
McDonald's. Saan si Jollibee? Where's Jollibee?
And this was research back in 2013 that online classes is actually, it leads to cold messages. So parang people, like, it's so important, like a huge factor in learning is face-to-face interaction and feeling the message, so that you can really, diba, parang I get what it's trying to say. And not only that, but another reason as to why I feel like it's not a conducive place for learning is because there's a heavier workload. So this is also based on the study. So that's this study. Okay, there was no crisis then. So imagine now pa na may crisis. Like, imagine balancing so many things at the same time. And then, so heavier workload. And like, the workload kasi is to compensate for the classes that are being missed. So parang there's a lot
like
of factors talaga. It's not very good.
Yeah, I mean, like, even in let's say it has a different kind of effect to you, because I mean, let's say you're at your house, and then this is in your house. This is where you're. This is a place where you sleep, where you eat with your family to rest, and then in school you get motivated to study, and you get motivated to study and do work in the library. So it really has a place on effect on the place you're at. So if you're in the house and that's where you work, you're already used to, just lying on your bed, resting. So you really have to change your mindset. But you can't just like snap it like that. You have to adjust to it. It's really hard.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why people like studying in coffee shops and libraries, because that's their workplace. If you're in your house, you can't work there because you have different kinds of distractions around you.
So for online classes, I'm not really for it, because I think the most conducive way of learning is really face-to-face interactions with teachers, like what Holly said.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
I
that,
agree.
And that, learning in school, it's not really just a PowerPoint presentation. It's really face-to-face interactions, and I don't think there's any real
It's the
replacement
connection.
for that.
It's the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I mean, I think it's not conducive because one of the types of online classes is where you have like a call or something, and as I said earlier, like not everyone's able to participate and everything. So that's like a major flaw that I see in having online classes. But
And in online classes kasi we all know that we have Canvas as our main platform to address this type of education, but sometimes kasi it's not very friendly to users.
I mean,
So parang
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's what do you call this? It's
crazy.
It's features. Parang kulang yung features niya. That's why professors resort to going to other applications, so many websites, just so that they can give the education that the students
Like,
need. So it's very confusing. It's also,
Hear me out. Hear me out. So like I have this class, I have some classes, and then they use the Canvas discussion board. So it's basically a Facebook post, and then the prof comments. There's no video call or voice call. It's just a Facebook, like a post, and then with the outline of the topic, and then the prof comments each time. So we constantly have to refresh the page and look for the new comments out of 100 comments sometimes. So it's really like confusing. It's crazy. Man.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Refresh every 5 seconds. You don't know if you'll miss something or not.
Well, alright, well, so that's our opinions. That's my fellow host's opinion about like classes as a whole. So pag sinabi natin online classes, that's different from like online schooling or like meron kang requirements. Online classes like legit pinupush natin magka-class
Yeah.
online.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, hosts. So that's our overview. Now, before we go down to the nitty gritty of like everything wrong and right about what the schools are doing now, like regardless if it's our school or any other school, um, we asked around. We didn't ask around. We asked other people.
Okay.
We asked
We're
other
not allowed to
people.
go around.
We're not going. It's social
That's bawal.
distancing.
Guys, we're
Remember,
home
remember.
quarantined. We did
Remember
not break
calling
any
out all
laws.
my friends who I know that are going out. Shout out to you guys. Congratulations. Anyway, pero so in still tuloy pa rin ang DR95 episodes, and as for people who have watched us before, you know that we get more opinions so that more people are part of the discussion. This is
Robe.
The Robe.
Hey everyone, my name is Villarosa. I'm a second year student taking up MSCM. Okay, so are online classes conducive for learning? In my opinion, no, online classes are not conducive for learning. I mean, I understand that conducting online classes seemed like the pragmatic way of how to deal with the situation we are in now. However, the fact that a lot of it is highly dependent on the initiative, the responsibility, the motivation, and even the accessibility of the students, it can be quite problematic. Like first, it really demands a high amount of accountability with the students and the teachers. Like we are given a great sense of responsibility in terms of our discipline, our time management, and even integrity. Second, I think is lack of efficiency. Like not all teachers are also tech savvy, so that can also be a hindrance with our learning experience. For me, the environment plays a huge role in one's learning experience. Like learning for me is not just like reading the PowerPoint presentation. Learning is dynamic. Like it's not just a PowerPoint presentation, it's a conversation. Like it's a discussion between the teachers and the students. And maybe for me, like none of my classes are conducting online lectures, so it's just like the PowerPoint and then we answer the exam. And somehow I don't really learn as much as I wanted to. It's also not efficient because it's also highly dependent on the students' accessibility, and not all students have the same level of accessibility, like in terms of the stable internet Wi-Fi, even their time, their availability, and such. Would you recommend this process of teaching to students during this time of class suspension? Honestly, if other people don't have the same opportunity or resources as other people do, or like as I do, then I don't want to take it. Like I think we're dealing with two different principles here, either efficiency or inclusivity. And I think I value inclusivity more. Like the purpose of the school is not just to maximize the resources given, but then it's also to provide equal, substantial learning experiences for everybody. And based on the people I've asked, like for some students it works, like they're okay. But then for other people, like they're really having a hard time, and we can't guarantee that everybody's learning the same way. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm super happy that everyone's trying their best to cooperate with online classes and participate with all of them. However, it's just somehow discouraging knowing that 3 or maybe 5 of my classmates are being left behind. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hannah and I'm from 36YP IMC. First of all, I know there's been a lot of hate going on around about online classes, and I totally understand why. However, given the situation and given that classes are going to be suspended for over a month, I totally understand why the school thought it would be the best idea to switch to online classes. However, I personally don't think online classes are the most conducive for 2 main reasons. First, I personally have a hard time following the lectures on Canvas when it's just written in text form. Second, and most importantly, a lot of students have had to go home. For a lot of them, Wi-Fi isn't as accessible. Because of this, they sometimes can't access quizzes or lectures on time, and if they do, they put themselves at risk because they usually have to go to other places to get Wi-Fi or to buy load. On top of that, this pandemic obviously affects every single person. Some are fortunate enough to just stay at home, have their Netflix, eat all their quarantine food, but that's not the case for everyone, and the schools shouldn't assume that that is the case. Some are genuinely worried about how their families are going to overcome this crisis. So I don't think it's necessarily fair to them to think about that or to be worried about that, while at the same time being worried about how much their academics are going to pile up and trying to look for Wi-Fi, when right now people should be focusing on their own health and the health of their families. So the school clearly had good intentions of attempting to switch to online classes. However, instead of having quizzes and real-time lectures, then perhaps some professors can maybe just give out a list of things that need to be done during the break, but then submitted when classes resume. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rafaella, a second-year student taking up Lex Honors. On behalf of Sabio as well as the FA Scholars, we commend the university for their efforts to fully maximize our education. However, online platforms do not cater to all types of students, given we all have different circumstances. Most FA Scholars worry about strong, reliable internet connection to access Canvas in order to beat deadlines. There are also some who do not have access to devices such as laptops and desktops. Despite having a mobile phone and data, we cannot go outside readily given that there's an enhanced community quarantine. Most professors are lenient to deadlines, but the sources to actually meet these deadlines are less, since we have less classes, no library access, and other resources for that matter. In that notion, I believe that the primary concern now is for our own safety as well as for our families. Also, most FA scholars do not have stable Wi-Fi connection or even have no access to Wi-Fi, which is a big problem for these online classes to work. Yes, Canvas is indeed a great avenue to continue academic work at home, but not to the extent that there will be classes online that others cannot access. Maybe the professors can record themselves and upload these recordings for students to view in any given point in time. As for requirements due online, maybe we can cancel them first due to the poor Wi-Fi connection and lack of access to devices. At the end of the day, our main priority should be the welfare of our families and ourselves. Learning and academics should be set at their own pace, given that everyone is affected by this pandemic. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be heard, and please stay safe, everyone.
Hi, I'm Gabby Transa and I'm from 3MEM. And personally, I don't agree with having online classes or having to submit requirements online, although it has been ongoing the past few days. But I still think that at a time like this, there are far more important things that people should prioritize, like their health, their safety, their families, and the situation that they're gonna be in the next few days. And I understand that this long suspension is really going to affect our studies, but the main problem is that a lot of students are still struggling to have connections to Wi-Fi or even have stable connections to Wi-Fi. So, at the end, I just hope that the profs are going to be more considerate about the situations of the students, especially those in the province, and that when classes resume, adjustments will be made and that everything will turn out okay.
Hi, I'm AJ Paez, second year student of the EM program. For me, online classes are not conducive, especially to those students who are in the provinces right now. Though it could be for others if they have stable Wi-Fi and fast gadgets. But sometimes, if we use Canvas, it can be really hard. And if you're in an online class, it doesn't really encourage that interaction a classroom normally can. It is understandable though that UANP is trying to keep up with the schedule in terms of academics. However, I wouldn't really recommend online classes right now because given the current situation of the Philippines, we shouldn't really prioritize our academics first. Instead, we should prioritize our safety and our family.
Okay, so thank you so much to everyone who spoke in the room.
Thank you.
Yeah, solid. Okay.
Thank you,
Like
everyone.
side note lang, I don't know if you've noticed, but medyo creepy how Hannah and Bea had the same t-shirt and the same earrings. May conspiracy theory ako about that. Pero mamaya ako na-share offline sa inyo, guys.
Daming alam
Anyway,
pa.
medyo weird lang. Okay, anyways, weird. Anyway, weird. Anyway,
they mentioned
okay.
stuff that I mentioned earlier about the text in Canvas and then the environment you work in. So I think Kana mentioned about the text in Canvas. It was very confusing. And then Bea mentioned about the environment you're in. So
Yeah.
they also have the same sentiments as
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying?
So obviously ang daming ang daming sentiments, ang daming reason to love it or hate it, but predominantly hate it, right? So meron naman tayong list here of like So like let's just go through it and then like share your thoughts. So first, like let's say when Hannah said na it's hard to follow just in text form. I think it's easy to assume kasi that like everyone learns in a specific way. May mga audio learners, may mga
Yeah.
visual learners, like
Yes,
people who
yes.
read a lot.
I agree.
Diba? So dun pa lang, yeah, okay. And then
Different
the
ways
first
of
hot
learning.
take coming from Hannah is like, yeah, so yung let's say for yung first hot take is like, schools can't assume that everyone can access this nor has the mental or physical or emotional or whatever to prioritize
Mhm.
this, right? So what do you guys think
Ooh.
about that? Na hindi
I
fair.
I
ito.
truly agree with that. I
I true.
No, but
I threw a I
but
threw a what?
with regard to like online
Mhm.
classes, I think they're only unfair because they're imposed deadlines. But if everything were self-paced, then I think that would be like a better option with regard to studying during this lockdown of ours. And
Yeah.
I think so what other schools have to realize is that there are bigger things other than school that is in our priority as students, which are like we have our own duties in our own homes, and aside from that, our health and our families are supposed to be our main priority, like school
Yeah.
and other
Yun nga yung sinabi ni Gabby,
Yeah.
there are more things, there are more important things right
school
now.
and
Yes.
school is like secondary or tertiary already to our priorities now. It's
Yeah.
really
Our health.
yeah,
bro.
our healthcare
Family.
and our own safety that we should be
Family.
paying attention to the most.
Yeah,
Like
man.
we should keep that in check the most.
There are many other people. I mean, there may be students in the university that are affected by this lockdown. So
I agree. I think Savi and Cholo already gave out most of the points, but I think we should also be more considerate to the schools. I don't think that they assume that everyone don't have good internet connection or the resources. I think they know that schools or the higher ups in the boards or the teachers there, they know the state of the Philippines, and it's not like everyone has that. But I feel like we should commend them also for really trying
Yeah,
their best to still give us quality education amidst this crisis.
I totally agree with
But
that.
I think the way that it's coming off kasi is different na for the students. So that's my
Yeah, like Bea said, no, parang it seems like everything that happened, since nga it all came out of nowhere, it's a very pragmatic way of dealing with the situation, which is like technically they were trying to do their jobs, pero yun nga, we were neither prepared nor like equipped to handle all these things. Now let's talk about the whole Wi-Fi issue.
well, for me, I want to touch up on those people who cannot access or who don't have access to Wi-Fi. So I think Rafi Limbaga is actually a scholar, and he states that 20% of the student population are scholars and financial aid grants. So actually there's kasi the scholars, diba, of course they need the support, diba?
Aid.
So we always think na UANP rich school ganyan they can afford everything, but we still have scholars, and we have to think about them. And imagine, this is actually a domino effect. So these people cannot access Wi-Fi. So if they cannot access Wi-Fi, they cannot meet the deadlines of the professors. And then from then on, they get bad grades. So if they get terrible grades, imagine there's a maintaining grade
Yeah.
for the scholars.
Uh-huh.
Imagine that's gonna be a major
They're gonna lose their
parang
scholarships.
major effect, on their scholarships. So parang
Yeah.
if you look at it at the bigger picture, it's not just simply just, oh, wala kaming Wi-Fi. It's like, dude, if you don't have Wi-Fi, I'm gonna lose my scholarship because my grades are gonna suffer from this. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, where's
yeah.
the justice in
There's
that, diba?
Where is it?
So,
Where is the justice?
Where is it, bro?
Where is the
Where-
justice?
What?
Where is the justice?
yeah.
And I think we'll tackle this later on then, because we have again people that are working na in our segment later called Afterthought.
Yeah, boy.
Yay. Tawag ito, pero it's also because like we can't name drop companies, right? But like there are a lot of companies out there, big companies na if yung argument mo is bakit mga working people blah 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 nakaka-access naman sa internet, because a lot of companies actually like shell out like mga 4G pocket Wi-Fis, like they give out like laptops to borrow. So but in terms of students, like the school's not gonna give you a pocket Wi-Fi. As much as you want to have a pocket Wi-Fi, the school's not gonna give you a pocket Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Nor will they give you a laptop.
Give me a pocket
right?
Wi-Fi.
So
In other schools,
me a
I saw a
like,
memo,
imagine
they were trying to give it out, like pocket Wi-Fis and laptops to people who didn't have. But then like it reached the
Are you serious?
Like it reached the, they couldn't give it out because when they were giving it out, that's when they announced the community-wide quarantine and lockdown.
Alat,
so.
boy.
Ay, sayang.
Sayang. That would be such like sobrang sisikat kayo like as a school kung ikaw yung one school na namigay ng pocket Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You remember? Yeah. So another thing that, so again, from the people in the room, ang pinakalumalabas so far is yun nga, Wi-Fi, it's so hard, not people can access it, and at the same time, like there are too many things to worry about. Like there are literally so many things to worry about. And if we were to assume nga, and later we'll prove the assumption, if we were to assume that more people are having a harder time doing their academics because ang hirap ng Wi-Fi, compared to like if you went to class, diba? So mas mahirap. So imagine mo, you're asking a student to prioritize academics more because they have to prioritize academics more, diba? Kasi ang hirap na nga to connect and like all these stuff. And then at the same time, ang dami pa nilang kailangan i-prioritize, like what yung sinabi ng mga people natin sa room, health, family, not to travel, meron baka alam mo yun, let's sama na natin lahat, relatives nila na baka may sakit din, yung resources nila sa bahay, and also like medyo something that maybe we won't touch on na is like even like mental health is medyo in a crisis ngayon kasi alam naman diba it's based on research na parang sometimes school nga is a escape for a lot of people with like depression or whatever kasi sometimes yung depression nila is rooted. So ang daming issues, sobrang daming issues. Now the question is, since ang daming issues, not all of us experience the same amount of issues, right? So for me, my opinion, one good point said here was from Bea, wherein she said that if everyone can't learn the same way or in the same level, I would rather not. As in, for me, yun yung great neutralizer. And like, regardless, basta may groups. Meron people who can access Wi-Fi, may people na hindi, right? Kahit anong pagbalik-baliktarin mo siya, the people with Wi-Fi can adjust more to the people na wala, kesa vice versa. Diba? Like, ako, if I have Wi-Fi, and then like, let's just move the academic calendar. Going back to what AJ said, diba? Na if priority niya is, nawala si Holly. Anyway, it's okay. She'll be back. Oh, there she is.
Yo.
Yeah, sorry guys. I don't
Okay,
know what happened.
going back to what
Anyway,
AJ said,
go on.
what?
It's okay. Going back. So AJ said na parang the school is just trying to keep up with the calendar, right? Like yun nga, if there are groups of students with different issues, the people who have internet can adjust to the people without internet. But the people without internet can't adjust to the people with internet.
Yeah.
Unless meron kang magic wand that you can like magically like make internet out of like, I don't know, a book or something. So yung point ko lang with that is I love what Bea said na if it's not for everyone, maybe we should just stop it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's also not fair.
I agree.
Diba?
I definitely
What do
agree.
you
Not fair, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Yes.
like,
yes.
I mean, like,
what?
okay, here, like, if people have internet, there's people with internet and people without internet. So, like, yeah, like, if the people with internet are learning more easily, in a sense, like in this situation, than the people without internet, then like, I thought, like, in a school we all have to have the equal quality of education, right? So if that's the case, then it's not equal anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like in school kasi when we have the freedom to choose how we learn. In this instance though, online classes, parang we're very restricted to one thing only, and that's whatever the professor gives out. So for example, what if I'm the type na who can really learn through listening and watching or something like that, then then the only material that is given to me is just reading materials. So parang it's not at the same level at those who can learn with, or who are stronger at that type of learning. Parang ganon. So parang, you know, we can say na it's unfair talaga because though we're not all the same people. Like we really we learn in unique ways, and I think we have to cater to all of that.
Yeah, okay. So help me out here, guys. So if we were to recap every lahat ng, so yun yung concerns of everyone in like that are studying, right? If we were to generalize, like I think they were able to give a wide variety of concerns, right? So one is internet, one is kung fair ba to o hindi in different levels, basta being fair in general. What else there? Masyadong madaming concerns na kailangan i-prioritize, like health and being with family and like resources to survive and all these stuff. What else? Ano ba bang major
Me, I have
concerns
a
na nakuha
concern.
niyo from the room? Yeah,
Parang,
yeah. Go.
well, it's not from the room, but this is what I actually observed. So we are ano, diba, parang we are sitting so online classes means that we have to be on our laptops almost the entire day, because we're waiting for notifications from the profs for the reading materials, whatever
Yeah.
whatever. So this
Like you
actually
have to
causes
keep
us
yourself posted.
to stay in yeah, like we have to keep our gadgets with us for like, I don't know, 10 hours a day, parang ganon, 10 to 12 hours a day. Not only that, it's not only just waiting for the notifications, but you're also on your gadgets to finish the requirement. So parang, you know, there are a lot of studies that say that if you do sit too much, if you use your gadgets for too long, it will actually, it's detrimental also to your health. So which is very counteractive of why the quarantine was placed in the first place. So this was to, so that we can not only distance ourselves from others, but it's also so that we can take care of our health, so that our immune systems are good, and that it can beat whatever bacteria or virus enters our bodies. But doing this kind of online classes actually makes us more vulnerable to the viruses because our health is on the line. So parang that's my take lang with it, kasi yun, it's very, it's something that I want to research on pa and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, for me naman, moving, like if I wanna address lang something like dun sa pagkasabi ni AJ na parang yun nga, academic calendar,
Yeah.
right? Like we'll touch on this more later, right? Pero is this a matter of like learning ba talaga, or is this a matter of completion lang? Like, 'di ba? Parang
Throwing
diba?
shade,
Like,
eh.
like honestly, what should we prioritize in the first place? No, it's a question. Like, in my opinion, it should be learning. I paid
I mean, yeah.
tuition to learn. Like, diba? I don't pay tuition para lang to umangat ng isang grade or like umangat ng isang year or like to graduate. I paid tuition para when I get to the real world, right? Like I know stuff
Yeah.
that will help me in the real world after college, right? That's what I paid for, not just the grade. So, great segue to our next segment. Don't worry, guys. Magda-dissect pa kami more of you of all these things after this segment. Pero our next segment naman is taking into account the opinions of the people who were alumni of our school and are working na. So they know one is even a teacher,
Yeah.
right?
Sir
So
Burns, shout
this
out.
is Afterthought.
Hi, good evening, DR95. This is Burns, an alumnus of UANP. And as someone working in the professional field, I think the online learning platforms that the schools have adopted for its students have a lot of potential. You know, these platforms, be it Canva, Google Classroom, Kahoot, and what have you, these platforms can still be maximized in a better way. And I think we are the best situation now in our country where we could really try to be creative with our pedagogy, with the way we communicate with our students, with the way we engage them, even though we are in a lockdown. But the biggest challenge here is to really empower the teachers, to educate them how to use these platforms in the best way possible. Because admit it or not, a lot of schools have not yet fully adopted the online learning revolution platform. because a lot of teachers are still would still prefer the more traditional instructional materials. Okay, so now do you think the teachers are equipped with the knowledge and skills for online teaching? I think a lot of teachers are equipped, but we still have a long way to go in terms of 100% implementation of the blended learning, asynchronous instruction. These interesting ideas can still have a long way to go, and that needs more time, more training, and more opportunities for teachers, especially the older ones, to get acquainted with these platforms, with these facilities. And yes, working from home could be effective for professionals. As for me, it's a struggle because I have to really put a very stringent structure schedule for my day to make sure I get to finish everything, because the temptation to just lounge and just, chill is very strong. Of course, my bedroom is also my office. And for students, those who are younger ones would actually face the same dilemma. Being at home gives you the sense of comfort, the sense of convenience, and these students may have some challenge in terms of keeping up with their focus. That's why the guardians, the parents, would really have to be with them as they accomplish their work from home tasks.
Hi guys, I'm Justine Ramos and I recently graduated from batch 2019 with a degree in Integrated Marketing Communication. I'm currently a brand assistant for Stan Commercial Corporation, or Stans as it's better known. So I hope everyone tuning into DR95 and the DR95 team themselves are safe in their homes with their families amidst this whole coronavirus situation. Speaking of which, I really do think that we weren't prepared for something this huge. We weren't expecting a whole 1 month suspension of work and of classes, so that resorted to everyone having to take online classes, which DR95 actually wanted me to discuss. I really do think it can't be called effective totally, because I do have friends who are currently working from home and they're actually having a harder time than compared to when they were in an office setting. But I do also have friends who are actually getting more work done, and I really do think it's a case-to-case basis for this whole working from home situation, and the same applies to classes from home. I think there are pros and cons to it because it does give you more freedom to do other activities in your day, but then at the same time, you do have to teach yourself to be more self-disciplined, and you have to teach yourself to focus when it's really time to focus.
Okay, big
Yeah.
opinions there from our alumni,
Thank you, alumni.
and from the working
Thank you,
population, right? So like siguro we can dive down each na lang. So once is like, I love how Bern said na madaming potential
Yeah,
for online schooling
that's
and
one of the
online
things I agree
education
agree.
with.
in
I agree with
general.
that so
I
much.
agree.
Yeah, pero like we also have to be more creative, right? Kasi since wala namang like giant manuscript of like ito yung best ways to do it for everyone. Walang ganun eh. So like students and teachers have to be super creative, and even admin have to be creative with how we're going to implement this. But then again, okay, so first, one great perspective na inad ni Burns here is the perspective of the teachers. I'll start here na lang, and then you guys can follow. I just want to say also na, you know what, like I super appreciate the efforts of the teachers. Na parang I don't think the problems for me, the problems of this whole online thing is because of the teachers, because they're
Yeah.
really trying their best. It's really like yung connecting resources and all that stuff. If anything, actually, I mean, I'm not calling out anyone or anything, but they're just really doing their jobs. Now ako, as someone who advocates that we shouldn't do online classes anymore, I think that's more on the admin. But in terms of like the teachers, talagang like ako na appreciate ko. I saw an Instagram story of a professor. They were having like before this whole lockdown, like they were already having like seminars on how to do
Yeah, I
this.
saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Diba?
Like IG stories.
Diba? So I hope to all the students out there who shame the same sentiments we do na we don't we're not 100% supportive of the online classes thing. I hope you also look at your teachers and be like, alam mo yun, it's not them. It's not them na kaaway mo. It's probably your internet.
Feel
It's
ko nga we're on the
probably-
same page.
Yeah, we're
with
on the same page. I
teachers.
feel that's what
I think
Yeah, I mean-
we are on the same page because
Yeah.
they have their own families to attend to, and to think that they are the breadwinners of the families. They are the parents,
Bring home the bacon, bro.
grandparents. So they have more to prioritize than student.
Statement for
Okay,
later.
then.
I have a good statement for
Okay,
online
okay,
classes.
Okay.
Okay, go.
No,
Later.
so for me naman, in terms of like to end lang the teacher part, I think yung kanina yung sinasabi natin na principle for students, na parang if not everyone can do it, like might as well don't do it. If merong minority, like
Yeah,
if there
okay.
are teachers out
There's
there
my
na
statement.
nahihirapan to teach
There's my
because of
statement.
circumstances.
It's like you won't eat a cake.
What?
You would rather eat no cake than a cake half baked. You get me? Yeah.
Oh,
so it's like,
I agree.
if
I
it's not
agree.
quality,
Good
then
metaphor.
don't eat it.
Good
you know?
metaphor.
Yeah.
So even with yun nga, tama, sobrang
Oh,
perfect
God.
na metaphor yun.
Spot
Na
If
on,
it's
parang,
not,
bro.
yun
it's
nga.
not quality.
Diba
then,
na,
like,
yeah, I'm sure there are teachers also na nasa provinces. I'm sure din may mga teachers na nahirapan with internet. So, like, ako, for me, ito shout out ko to lahat ng students. Hindi yung teachers yung kaaway nyo. They're just doing their job.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Give them some slack, guys.
Yeah.
Though
And give
I
them
mean,
some credit,
we
bro.
can't also generalize kasi there are some teachers talaga na relentless. I mean, medyo
Yeah,
ganun.
like,
But then, it's normal.
Credit
Yeah.
to them. Credit to them then. As in fairness.
Yeah.
Like, imagine mo sila, yung kanina, like, lahat nung sinabi natin about, like, from the student side, pagdating sa teachers, it's the same principle. Like, imagine mo sila, they have to worry about, like, putting food on the table and stuff like that.
Yeah
Like
nga.
what you said, Holly.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing I want, and this is naman na parang something I will debate with, sinabi niya na, you mentioned in terms of work from home, hard but manageable. Okay, like same. I have that. Like, pero sinabi din niya na students, like yung academics at home and work at home are similar in some sense, right? I completely disagree with this. I super duper disagree with this. From someone who is in both spheres, and medyo part-time lang naman ako sa work. Like, I super disagree with this because one, I'll keep this simple na lang. One is, I get paid to work. I have something, may output ako. For sa school naman, it's baliktad. I'm paying for an education. So,
Makes sense,
it's not the
Yeah,
same thing.
Yeah.
Diba? And even in sa work namin, like sobrang like understanding ng lahat ng tao in terms of work. Nobody complains kasi sobrang understanding ng lahat ng tao. Especially with my colleagues na parang super like, talaga nagtatanong sila, kaya mo bang to submit this on time? Pag sinabi kong hindi, like, okay, they'll adjust the whole calendar. So, in terms of that, like, yung same daw ang work from home at saka study from home, I don't think it's a valid
Comparison.
comparison kasi
Yeah.
sobrang magkaiba ng
Gets,
context. And even this is from my mom, na parang even yung resources, right? Like, imagine mo, if you've been working, you have the money to buy a laptop, you have the money to buy like a pocket Wi-Fi. We're students, we don't have
Oh,
the
yeah.
money to buy our
We
own
don't have
laptop
money,
sometimes,
period.
diba?
Yeah, we don't have
And
money,
if-
bro.
and then if
Yeah, we don't have money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, I don't have money. Like, we don't have money, period. So, yun lang, in terms of that. So, meron ba kayong take on that
No,
one?
I think you said everything. You and Sevi said
I
everything
agree.
perfectly, bro.
I think you dissected it very well. So I think
Wow.
that's enough.
Galing
Wow.
mo, kilig siya.
Flattered.
This is what happens when we don't see each other for too long. Nagkaka-compliment tayo. So Holly, wala na ba tayong tension? Wala ka namang galit sa akin?
Never naman
Or
may
anyone sa team?
tension.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So we're moving on. So the next, she's my friend, by the way. Hi, Justine. What about Justine?
Well said.
Yeah, I agree. Like, everything was well
Well said.
said, spot on. Nothing left out. Concise.
Did you
Nice.
watch it, Cholo?
I think did you
Yeah, I
watch it,
watched it, I
Cholo?
watched
I think-
Like,
I
really?
promise
Okay,
I watched it.
I think that since she's a recent graduate of 2019 lang, so I think she's still parang she can quickly empathize with us because she was just a student a few months ago. That's why her statements were very clear and very relatable to a lot of us.
Okay, well, for me naman ang take ko with Justine is just the She ended with like it takes a lot of CCAP, it takes a lot of discipline and like all that stuff para maka-function, and like she had the tone na parang she wants to encourage more people. Pero yun nga, like going, that's true. You have to be you have to be good in prioritizing stuff and like being focused and all. But at the same time nga, there are simply people who can't. Kahit gaano sila ka-focus. Kahit gaano sila ka gusto nila matuto, sometimes they just can't. Okay, now that we're done with our 2 segments, so your next part is really where like
that
the
leaves
arguments
us.
start to fall.
Yeah.
Yes. Parang wala nang haka-haka.
Should we?
I don't know if you guys saw this. Yeah, parang we can't talk about every school pero so for UANP listeners, I hope you guys saw yung statistics or research na nilabas ng student
Yeah,
government.
baby.
Was everyone able to see it?
Yes.
Shout out to the student
Very
government,
good, very
bro.
good.
Yeah, shout out to the
like,
USG.
honestly,
shout
good
out
work.
to the USG.
We needed
Thank
this.
you so much for
we
this.
needed this, bro.
Anong nyo?
Okay,
Anong biggest
so-
surprise sa inyo here?
43% don't have suffer from the lack of internet access.
Yeah,
or
this
poor
is
Wi-Fi
also the
That's
biggest.
a lot.
That's
that
like
was
just
the,
less
That's
than
a
half.
lot.
That's a lot.
honestly.
That's
That's
crazy.
less than half, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's
And
crazy.
then
bro.
71% don't want online classes. That's a lot.
Yung want medyo hindi ko alam kung like kasi
Wait, so that means
anyway,
30%
well, okay,
want.
so yeah, 30% want.
Joke. Cut.
Ano? We're leaving that in. We're leaving that in.
But
Okay,
you know,
Mike,
from
compose yourself.
from the what do you call this? From the data, it says that 371 UANP students did not meet the March 16 tuition fee payment deadline, mostly due to the Metro Manila enhanced community quarantine. So and then recently parang the university posted that they will be what do you call
Extending.
this?
There's no late
They
fee.
they will
Yeah.
there's no more late fee. So it's nice to see that there's already compromise that's happening slowly, but you know, we're getting there naman. So it's one thing that I wanted to point out with the survey.
Yeah, I mean, like, so like comparing
What's
to
up?
other schools, I actually read this memo from another school, a big school, and then they recently just released this memo saying that they're gonna completely stop online classes and they're just gonna send material to you guys so you can learn online. And the reason for that was because 12% of the whole population of the school did not have good stable internet or and poor
12%
Wi-Fi
lang?
connection. So it was just 12%.
And compared to
compared
ours,
to
was
ours,
43.8%.
And that's not even
And-
that's not even the whole population of the school.
And to think that I think this school
So-
is a super big school, like huge population. So it just
So that's
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So
yeah,
for-
I mean, like,
go.
43%. So you can really tell, like, I don't know what's gonna happen with UANP, but then 43% of the population is pretty big compared to 12%. Also, like, they already stopped with their grading and deadlines for the for the time being until April 15, and the reason for that is because they said that they find it unfair for students who cannot or do not have stable connection or internet to complete these deadlines and requirements. So I mean, it's not fair for their grading as well. Like we said a while ago, it isn't fair for the people who don't have the opportunities like with good Wi-Fi and internet. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, and even like this school that I'm talking about, they even canceled the whole grading and deadlines and requirements for the period until April 15, and that's because they for the 12% that didn't have enough the resources, the internet and the materials or equipment that they needed, they found it unfair, so it was a compassionate way of dealing with this situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And actually, based on the statistics, the UANP statistics, it's already a huge number. Like, it already should be given that online classes should be suspended. The fact that almost half of the population don't have stable internet, and that 71% of the population parang don't want online classes because they find it ineffective, already means that we should do something about it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, what this school did, it was they just they still had online learning in a way that if you have internet and if you can access these things, then you can go ahead and check out the material that are sent to them. But if they don't, then it's okay. You won't that won't it's not graded or anything. You know what I mean?
Like, you
it's
won't
still,
suffer from it.
Yeah, you won't suffer from anything. You can still
And it goes back to what I was saying kanina nga na parang like I paid to learn, not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
grade.
For it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in general, if you guys read the PDF na attached dun sa post nga ng USG study, right? So they narrowed it down to parang 4 main points. Majority of the UANP students are restricted both physically and digitally by the Metro Manila Enhanced Community Quarantine. Number 2, 371 UANP students did not meet the March 16 tuition fee payment deadline, mostly due to the Metro Manila Enhanced Community Quarantine. Number 3, over 570 UNP students suffer from a lack of internet access or poor Wi-Fi connection. And then number 4, majority of the UANP students prefer self-paced learning in lieu of online classes or webinars. Now, yung question, so yun nga, parang from the stats na makuha natin from our school and then comparing it to the big school na sinabi natin, parang what they're doing like will solve a lot of our problems.
Yeah,
also.
I mean,
It
like,
will.
Right?
Definitely.
Don't you think so?
learning is the best thing to do right now.
Yeah, like
It's so
that's
cold
that's
here,
that's the
share
thing.
ko lang.
Because
Wi-Fi or internet connection. So what do you call this? One of the things that one of my professors
keep mo cholo.
Thank you. One of the things that my professors did is he gave us these self-paced learning modules, and at the same time he made himself available during class hours for consultation via Canvas. And I think that's the way to go with regard to like these online thingies for your school.
But what if you don't understand these things? Like, it's really
do you
hard
mean,
to
eh?
understand.
Yun nga, that's why I like what my professor did, because even during class hours he's open to consultation. Like if you don't understand anything, you can just ask him. I mean, it's not like an immediate solution, but at least it's something. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to imply.
I mean, it's better than a choppy video call, right?
Exactly.
Going back to our USG, dun sa pinakadulo nung parang memo na ginawa nila or like letter to everyone, like what their findings are. Meron dito parang sobrang parang in the spirit of equality and solidarity, we want to petition for education that accommodates all students. Ganda. Where one is deprived, no one else should have unjust advantage. In this crisis, education cannot take precedence over one's safety and that of the
Yes.
nation's.
That's
Good
that's
job to the
basically
USG,
it.
honestly.
That's
Good job to our
basically
student.
it.
Yeah, that's basically
the
it,
tweet.
honestly.
That is it.
That's the one we should. Sobrang props to the USG. I'm so proud of all of them, my friends there, my not friends there, and everyone in between. We'll have all the details in our caption on how to like donate dun sa para kay ate at KUYA thing to help the people working at school na nahihirapan with their salaries or whatever. Yeah, ang dami na raise, di ba? Ayun, parang BPI amount raise is 55,100, BDO 6,500, GCASH
10,000.
Wow. GCash 10K,
Yeah.
Wow.
Habol sila. So, ano ang tawag dito? So, great job, and I hope like more people can help them out. Now, let's talk about another thing that we have to talk about this whole thing, is tuition worth it?
Oh.
Oh,
Way to
damn,
drop the
boy.
bomb.
Pay it.
Full
I mean,
send,
Is
bro.
tuition
Full
worth
what do
it?
we pay
It's
in
tuition.
tuition?
Okay, technically,
Can I
Technically, one unit
start?
is 3K,
Wait. Can I
diba?
start?
1 unit's around 3K.
I'm not
Wait,
so
wait.
sure. It depends.
Wait. Hindi, pero a lot of the prices din sa tuition natin is like
Wi-Fi, electricity.
mga commodity, mga Wi-Fi place. Anyway, meron dito tayong data na as for March 19, CHED appealed to private universities on March 18 to defer the collection of fees during the suspension.
That's what UANP did.
Based off yung...
No, they're still asking.
Hindi, kaya nga, pero like yung... Yeah, they're still asking. Yung
suspend as in
suspension
don't
nila is
pay
yung
anything.
Yeah.
So,
During the suspension, yeah. So, ibig sabihin, pagbalik natin ng classes, well, we don't know the ins and outs of this, so hindi naman tayo makaka-comment on like the specific technicalities,
Yeah.
right? Pero like, for you guys, worth it ba ang tuition considering that these are what's happening? Sa akin, hindi.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
think
yeah, same. Obviously
Yeah.
not, bro. We're not able to use the facilities of the school. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not in school, obviously. So,
So, dapat ba may discount na lang?
yeah, like a discount or like a refund or something. I mean, that's my take.
And not
I
not
can't
only are we not
Refund.
able to parang use the facilities ganyan, but we can't parang get first-hand experience from because it's really their professionals, because it's really their expertise, and that's also what we're paying for, diba? So yeah, ayun.
Yeah. Lana, sobrang hirap talaga pag-usapan itong whole thing na to kasi
There's
like
just so many things.
sobrang daming
there's
variables
so many things
involved. Yeah, there's so many, and honestly, if we were to like to parang consolidate all our ideas on why we're even in college, if we just make it clear na we're in college to learn, not just for the degree. If we're just going to say that, then all of the aspects tell us that we shouldn't be doing this online
Yes.
classes.
True.
I agree.
What do
I
you
agree.
think?
I totally agree with that, bro.
Yes.
Hit it right on the nail.
Pero if we want naman masunod lang yung calendar, we want to graduate lang, and I'm graduating like if you want to sana mag-graduate.
Yun
Because of the
lang.
EdCom. Anyway,
One
No,
more
no,
year.
but go ahead.
Hindi na nga
But-
lang,
but like-
pare. Hindi na nga lang eh.
no more years. No more years.
6YP.
Ne, pero
6YP.
The OG
Hindi.
6YP.
Please. Sana wala na EdCom. I just want to finish my arnista. Anyway, so if we're going to go with that standard naman na we're paying and we're doing all these things to just finish a grade or a year level, then fine, baka madaming argument against like stopping, like kailangan tuloy pa rin natin, we should all be graded pa, pero hindi talaga ako feeling ko morally, rationally, like logically, in every sense for me, if we're gonna stick with the idea na we're paying tuition, we're going to school, education is to learn, not just to get a degree, sobrang mali nito, in my opinion.
Yeah,
What do you
same.
guys
Like,
Yeah, dude.
of course, like
Wow, same opinions.
Yeah, dude, bati na kayo. Buti pa kayo. Si Holly galit pa sa akin for some reason. Anyway, sorry, go,
I mean, like,
sige.
if you can't,
It's okay. I
if you can't
completely
force
understand.
to, put it on the same, like, not change the academic calendar, then I guess like, if it's just gonna, like, again, like I said, if you don't eat a half-baked cake, you eat you'd rather eat no cake than a half-baked
You eat a
cake,
full
right?
sand cake, bro.
Yeah, you gotta eat the full, the real
Yeah,
deal.
The full sand, bro.
The full sand. The full sand.
Go,
The full sand cake. You gotta
gawa tayong
the
poster
real deal
about that,
cake.
about your saying.
So it's
about
like
what you're saying.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
It's not making
Yeah.
sense. So rather like, not have just move if it's the best thing to do, then just move the academic calendar. So
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I was talking to my parents earlier about it actually, and they said the same thing. If online classes aren't gonna work, then at least move the academic calendar.
Or
Yeah.
and that's something that we just have to
Oh.
accept na dami natin pinaglalaban dito na move the academic
Pinaglalaban ko lang
calendar,
para
so we can't
ma-6YP
really
ka eh.
complain.
Parang pinaglalaban ko lang para 6YP ka
No,
lang.
and
Parang
So
Yeah.
funny, Cholo.
And wait lang.
You're so funny.
And the fact that CHED allows so this is based on ABS-CBN. CHED allows colleges and universities to freely adjust their schedules during the lockdown. Parang it already says something, diba? But at the same time, we can't blame then the I mean, I really commend the school because I know that they're trying their best because we can see there are also consequences naman kasi if they move the school calendar, everything's gonna be changed. Like there will be so many complications. But then again, what are we prioritizing? Schedule, or like the timeline, or
Agreed.
the learning, or the quality of education that we are receiving? So of course it's the latter, diba? So no matter what the circumstance is, we should put learning on top of things, because even if we do finish on time, we get a degree, but we weren't able to learn anything naman. So how will this contribute to our future, diba? How will this contribute to our jobs, and contribute to our quality, or
Yeah,
our
man, like,
qualities, ganyan. So
It's
do you get
another
where I'm coming
domino
from?
effect.
Yeah.
The domino effect.
Yeah, another
Domino
domino
effect.
effect.
Domino's
It's
pizza.
the domino
Yeah.
effect.
I guess for me, since I hate Domino's
What?
pizza. Anyway, going pero okay. Anyway, that's for another podcast.
Talaga.
Anyway, for me, since like I just want to share my opinion. Like, please don't hate me. Ako naman, I don't think it's the students' fault. Unless meron nga, I'm sure meron pa yung percentage yan that just want to end classes kasi tinatamad sila and they don't want to work and they just want to break. But like the vast majority, I don't think it's the students' fault. I don't think it's the teachers' fault. I think the teachers are doing a great job trying to cope up with this. It's not even the representatives, like the USG is doing great. As in yun nga, like yung statement pa lang nila. Ako nga, I'm not saying that the admin or like whoever is like in charge of this whole thing, I'm not saying na what you're doing is wrong. I'm not saying that you've wronged all of us. We're doomed. Pero my point lang is the ball's on your court na. We're trying to adjust as much as we can. Kahit na feeling namin na there shouldn't be classes. The teachers are doing their job. The USG and other people who are fighting for yung pagiging fair nito are doing a great job. So I'm not saying you're right or wrong to the people in charge. I'm saying that the ball is on your court. And I hope you decide properly. And with
Yes.
enough fairness. Go.
So
Yeah.
so what are
Anyway, so who
What?
wants... Yeah.
so what? Wait lang. Okay.
Go, Holly. Go,
so
Holly.
we have
But-
to come to a conclusion, or to a compromise. Of course, this discussion is not for not for nothing. We have to come up with a solution as the student body. Now, a part of finding a solution is looking into how other schools were able to address this problem. So I think let's tackle it. So again, like what Savi said, diba, parang there was this one school where they suspended all online classes and graded requirements. So they don't have to do that. But they will still continue to distribute learning materials and online discussions. So it's always readily available for them, for the students, but they're not graded for it. I think this is the best way to handle this situation. Like,
Yeah.
make the students learn at their own pace again, but don't pressure them into doing things that they can't handle right now, because there are other things to take into consideration.
But also give the materials, diba? Kasi they pay for that
Give the
learning.
materials,
Like, if they wanna
definitely give the
learn, diba?
materials. So I think galing.
And this so-called cold
Cold.
this so-called big school also in their memo also says na if faculty members want to hold synchronous class online, they may do so on conditions that these are agreed upon with the students. So may ganun pala eh. Like, for them and their big school, they ask the students
bro.
muna, gusto nyo ba mag-online classes o hindi? That's sobra. Attendance is not required.
Listen
Wow.
up, bro. Listen up.
See, that these discussions are recorded and made available to those who did not participate live. That's
bro.
great. I love that one. I
Yeah.
love that one.
Galing.
Opportunity should also be made available for those who did not participate live to engage with. Okay, teachers should aim for parity. For example, students without or who have limited internet access should be given the opportunity to listen or view the recorded classes discussion that can be shared to them later on when access becomes available. It would be good for departments to find other ways to enabling these students to learn offline. So, ang galing. Talagang model. Like, what they're doing, like, really solves all the kinks of this thing.
Yeah.
Galing.
Yeah,
Feeling, do you guys wanna
let's
add?
try to pattern our solution after that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like that's really the way
Yeah.
to go, only because it caters to everyone, like all of the whole student population. You know.
And props to and to aid this, props to the USG for the study they made kasi like
might help us.
alam mo
you know?
yun,
You
like
might,
may
next
kita mo
thing you
das,
know, like it'll help
yeah,
us.
the stats.
Like these are the numbers, bro. These
Yeah,
are the numbers. These are all just the facts.
Yeah, these are the numbers. Like, hindi na haka-haka. Gusto nga nila na self-paced. Everyone, nahirapan na sa internet. Mas prefer nila self-paced. So, what are we waiting for? We need to move.
We need to move.
Kasi ang dami nahihirapan. Because there are other more pressing things to talk about that we'll probably talk about next week.
well, you know
If
what?
hindi
It's
pa tayo
not just
na-cancel.
that school. Actually, a lot of schools then parang they suspended online classes.
Yeah,
so
almost all.
I think
mean,
that
like,
it already
a lot.
says something, diba? And these universities, they've been there for much longer than us. So I guess it's very their decisions are credible, diba? Plus they have a bigger population, so
Since everyone's so tired na. Ano oras na?
it is.
It's 11:53.
gosh.
It's 11:53.
Ooh, let's go,
Oh
guys.
my
All for
gosh.
the
Sorry
grind,
to all
bro.
our
All for the
editors
grind,
who
ah.
have to. Well, yeah, all for the grind. All for the grind. Feeling ko this. Sana this discussion helped. Now to end our segment, now we're gonna run down like our last segment. It's called Off the Wall, wherein we get from online like mga comments about what's happening. Now, usually we get it from the Freedom Wall, but for this case kasi, we posted something yesterday that surprisingly enough, sumabog. Ang dami nag-comment. 'Di ba? Dun sa post natin yesterday sa wall natin from different schools, different perspectives. So we were able to pick tig-isa kami and then we'll all
Yeah.
react na lang. So let's start. If you guys gusto nyo pa humabol to mag-comment, then go lang. Pero these are
Voice
what
out
we
your
picked so
concerns,
far.
Oh,
Go,
guys.
Sebi.
Kin Violan commented. He said, "I appreciate the effort that the admin has been exerting in order to make sure that we students continue to learn despite the suspension. I honestly do not mind this. However, I think it is safe to say that we are not prepared for this. Online classes have been given both professors and students a hard time, which results to a negative effect on the learning of the students, hence defeating the purpose of these online classes." So it's
Agreed.
basically like, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like
Everything we said.
Like if it's a half-baked cake, man. Half-baked
Yes.
cake.
Sevi and his half-baked
Yun na lang,
cake.
yun na lang sagot mo. When people watch this episode and like, oh, what do you mean? It's a half-baked cake.
Yeah,
Don't
bro.
ask me.
Nah,
It's a half-baked cake. Yeah, just watch the episode and it's a half-baked cake. Okay, next.
Okay, so
Holly.
I got the comment from Juan Pangan. He says, yes, it is good that the school is trying to ensure that the students will be able to continue learning, considering the current situation that we are currently in. Yes. Although I am against low quality education. Me also. I'm super against it. Going online,
That's the
teaching
half-baked
through
cake, bro.
video calls, and relying to the students' honesty and taking the tests is a total disadvantage and a waste of tuition fee being paid. That the classroom discussion is much more fruitful rather than just forcing courses to be finished in time through online indirect teaching. In short, stop online classes. It's unfair. Yeah, I totally agree with Juan's statement because it's sobrang artificial kasi lahat ng nangyayari. Sobrang artificial, and that's a major factor for me in quality education.
Again, these are just the voice of the people. Like yun nga, medyo unfair nga in terms of tuition, unfair in terms of grading, in terms of everything. Like yung accessibility, it's just unfair. And like what the person in the room said, Bea said na, if it's not everyone who's benefiting, why do it in the first place? Because we're all paying the same
Okay,
tuition
go
here.
Kyle.
Whoa. Anyway, so I got ones from Pons Mercado Muico. To be honest, I don't think it's good to force the academic calendar right now, especially when most of us are concerned with keeping ourselves and our
Yes.
family safe. If they have to self-paced modules would be better, but they have to be
Or no
lenient with
deadlines as well.
deadlines.
Or no
As of now,
deadlines.
or now that some profs are giving lectures and modules, but they don't seem to understand that we have a lot of subjects and a lot of things to worry about. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
another thing na hindi natin tinouch on. Like, yung mga people na sobrang daming
Grabe,
online
intense.
classes. Like, meron ba sa inyo?
Nah.
Meron ba sa inyo?
Me,
Meron ba sa
ang
inyo?
dami.
Si Holly,
guys.
like,
I think out of the 7 classes that I have, I have 6 that are active online. So imagine all of these profs are trying to compensate for the classes that we've missed. So every class that is missed, there's a submission. So imagine per class, ha? Yeah,
So,
for real. That's why me talaga, I'm on my laptop 10 hours and I'm just looking and trying to finish my requirements on time. It's really giving me so much anxiety and stress, even more than going to school itself. So and it really makes my head hurt because of the
And I think ngayon nga, it's just we have to remove this concept na kailangan lang natin sumunod sa calendar. We can adjust that. As long as we're all safe, mentally prepared, like mentally okay, like we can fix that later on. Like we can I can graduate. Basta maging
Kyle, you're
safe
gonna
ako and my
graduate.
family. Okay, I was
You're
done.
gonna
I was
graduate.
done.
You're
I know,
gonna
I know.
graduate.
I'm gonna
I'm claiming
graduate.
it for you.
Also,
I'm
our
claiming
editor.
it for you.
Me and the editor-in-chief.
it,
Kuya mo rin, GG pag di ka. So, anyway, yeah. So, super thank you for the comment, Pons. Pero, as you heard throughout this entire podcast, we agree. We totally agree.
Okay,
Cholo.
so I got my comment from Stephen Desaban Jr. So it says here, he says, ideally it could be a good way to maintain learning amidst everything that's happening. But life is rarely ideal. There's just too many factors that make online classes ineffective. May it be lack of good connection and or experience with online medium.
Agreed. Yep.
So I
Yeah.
think, like, I agree with this only because like it's majority of what we talked about. This is really my opinion in a nutshell regarding the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
So,
My
Ano, guys?
it's so much to
sobrang
take
ang
in.
dami,
It's
ang
too much to
dami.
take in.
Some-
That's why we need to
sobrang
rest.
dami. Like, we need to rest and we need to just stay at home and like we just need to thank God next week pa ulit yung recording.
Oh.
Anyway, so no, but like so in terms of suspension though, do you think we're coming back April?
No.
Nah, bro.
I think so.
Nah.
Like
Okay, like let's look at it this way.
nah.
So we're supposed to be back by April 14, and it's like already March 21. I don't think the virus is gonna go anywhere in 20 days, bro.
Yeah.
Oo nga,
It's
no.
so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Oo nga.
Oh,
Like
that's
let's
so
be
true.
real, bro. Let's be
Oh,
real.
nga, no.
Oh, what
20
a
days.
realization.
What a
No, but then,
revelation.
like,
It's just
Yeah,
it's an
even my
unbaked
prof
pie.
was saying that we're supposed to have a presentation April 29, I think. And then I was like asking him, sir, don't we have class already by that time? And he was like, nah, I think it's gonna go reach the end of the sem. So
Yeah.
Yo.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can because we're at the start of the pandemic. Like, I mean, the crisis for the Philippines is just starting. Think of it
Mhm.
that way. And in Wuhan, China, they suspended the school until now, since December, right? So imagine how many months it has been just to contain that virus. For us, it's starting pa lang. So I guess
Yeah.
by June, July pa or something.
we're gonna be stuck at home till June. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. All we can do is
Guys,
wait
just
until
pray.
April 14th.
Yeah.
Just pray.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Sana. Like, I was gonna give you, like, medyo, like, more facts based on, like, how suspensions are going all around the world. But, like, you can hear that sa news and I can assure you na the curve's not dropping yet. Not in the
Flatten
next
the
20
curve,
days.
yeah, but it's not flattening.
No, it's not gonna yeah. Hopefully bumagal and maybe we can go to school. But if we go to school, di ba bibili siya ulit?
Yeah.
Well,
Ano?
buti na nga lang na
Ano?
naagapan ng ngayon. Did you feel?
Oh. Pero
Yeah,
if we
yun
come back
lang.
to school
Yun
ng
lang,
April,
sir.
tapos biglang tumaas ulit yung curve, hindi na naman flat.
Wala na, bro. Next year
hindi
ka
mo
na.
wala na. Pero like, to end our discussion, like, let's go na lang one by one. Mr. Cholo Lauron, what's your message to your friends, your everyone around you, everyone na is in school and out of school, lahat ng nasa bansa and beyond? What's your message, Mr. Cholo Lauron?
Yeah, I mean, it's more of just, stay safe, stay at home. Like, if you don't need to go out, please And also pray. Just pray. Praying is one of the biggest things we can do
Wow,
now.
pray.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yes.
Like not even just for the virus, but like even just for peace, cause like the one thing that alarms me the most now is like the home invasions and everything.
The
So,
uprising.
I hope it doesn't have to come to
Yeah.
that or even worse. So everyone just please.
I'll go next. For me, like if I was gonna divide it like for students, hang
Yeah,
in
hang in
there,
there, bro.
hang
Yeah,
in
that
there.
too.
Ma-resolve din natin to. Kaya na to for students. And there but also to the yung mga makukulit, or as our president said, yung mga makukulit out there. For you for you guys, just like please stay at home. May mga kilala pa rin ako na lumalabas. And like if you need any more justification not to go out, it's not about you. Ito medyo grim to, and pero like honestly, like it's just like my personal message to like all the students. By you going out, baka iniisip mo, hindi, I wanna have fun ganyan. Break naman, walang akads. You can literally be killing someone by going
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you
can get the
can be- you
virus
can
or
be-
spread the virus.
Yeah, you can get the virus, spread the virus without even
Yeah,
you
like
knowing.
okay,
So imagine it. Yeah,
everyone just
go,
know
Cholo.
like it takes around 1 to 14 days until you find out that you have the virus. So sometimes you could go out and you wouldn't even know it, and then you're already letting other people contract it from you. So
Good
You
job.
did your
Cholo.
research,
Thank you for
bro.
Jen, be caught lacking, bro.
You did your research, bro.
Good job,
man.
Cholo. Who wants to go? Sevi, you wanna
well,
go?
my take
Our
on this
ladies
is,
last.
yeah, just stay indoors, just play video games. I mean, that's the safest thing you can do to have fun right now.
Dean, bro, study.
That's late.
No, but also like
Joke
like
lang.
maybe in yung episode natin next week, things that
No,
students
because like
can do.
While
the
since we have a
break.
doctor in our
Ooh,
we have a
some plug
doctor in
there.
our basketball group in our village, and he was just like saying that just don't play basketball. Like the safest thing you guys can do is play video games. So just do that. And like
Wag naman play video game na, read a book or something like
Be
like,
productive,
see,
bro.
read a book if you
Work
want. I'm
out
gonna
at
play some
home.
video
be
games, man.
productive. Watch movies. Ang dami
Do
I'll
what
play
you
ma-
want as long as you stay at home.
Yeah, just stay home.
Sevi, I know you just want to justify your Dota
No.
addiction.
Anyway, yeah.
I think it's about time we
I
gave
don't
you
know.
the talk, bro.
No look away. Yeah, I think it's about time. Holly, ito na. The only one that makes sense to among all of us.
Grabe naman, harsh ka. For all my fellow students out there, I know that education or your grades are important, but you yourself is more important. Take care of yourself. No, totoo,
Yun.
sleep.
I agree.
What they said, read a book, exercise. Really just prioritize yourself, especially in a time like this. And always know that you're not going through this alone. Millions of people are with you. So if you're feeling lonely, call a friend. Talk to the counselor or guidance counselors, because they're already available online. And but also please be more cautious with how you act outside and stuff, or just follow simple measures. And with that, that's it. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, so to end the call, like these are very
Trying
hard
times,
times,
bro.
and it requires the cooperation and like understanding of like everyone, regardless if you're a student or not. And I just hope there are more people talking about like really like yung perspective from a student that's studying, na medyo mahirap to, kasi while you're studying, that's a big chunk of your life, and like you need to get
Oh,
the
wait.
most out of it. So for every
I wanna add,
yes
please
yes
help others,
Holly.
help the poor. If you have extra supply, donate them because they need it most.
Mhm.
yeah, so tulungan tayo dito, and like and there are literally thousands of other like subtopics behind this conversation, and there are like thousands more bigger topics, like let's say politics or economics. This was just one side of like the Rubik's cube coin.
Rubik's
Sa madaming sides. I don't know kasi pwede coin eh. Dalawang sides lang ang coin eh. Anyway. No, but like wait, okay. So, ang dami natin kailangan pag-usapan. Then there needs to be more discussion about this, not just about economics or politics, just even education. And I hope for all the students out there or the teachers or everyone, like I hope you voice out your opinions and let's start a discussion about this. Kasi if the news or other websites are lacking, tayo na yung mag-voice out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode.
Tune in for our next episodes also.
This was a long one.
If you'd made it this far,
Tune in for our next episode. Hindi ka namin iiwan. I think I can speak in behalf of the entire team here at Discussion Room 95 and all of the hosts, like lahat ng nag-research and the prod, like we're really doing this because we think that now more than ever, something like our show can like really help other people, not just for entertainment but also like, you know, for to keep everyone's minds open and like active, and like sana we can push more people to voice out their concerns. Message the USG if you're from the UANP. If you have concerns, go lang.
Comment down
even message
below.
admin if you can. Comment down below what you think of discussion. As you can see so far, sa sobrang tagal namin where we've been airing, love us, hate us, it really doesn't matter to us. What we care about is that you start talking about the topics we are talking about.
Rona can't
Okay, so
stop the
for
Rona
me,
can't
Kyle,
stop it, bro. Can't stop the discussion.
yeah, Rona can't stop
Yeah.
DR, yeah.
Yeah.
So for everyone on the team, isa-isa yun naman yung order natin kanina. Please, telepathy. I hope
Si
you
Holly.
get- Screw it. Never mind.
Thank
never
you,
mind.
Prod.
Never mind. So for Holly, Cholo, Sebi, and me, thank you so much for watching. And this
From-
is Discussion Room. Wala na.
Akala ko everyone as in
Wala na.
prod. Marketing.
Hindi. Wala na. Let's try again next week. This is, wait, last. Please. Be super like understanding. This is super hard to
Yeah,
do.
it's crazy.
This whole
First time.
online
First
thing.
time.
But that's not an excuse for us to not continue the
The
discussion.
discussion must keep
Okay,
going.
again, for Holly, Cholo, Sevi, and me, this is Discussion Room.
95.
This is Discussion Room 95.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.